Okay, so let's start doing some matting. As you can see, I've already kind of worked ahead a little bit and figured out exactly how I wanted to mat the inside of my pocket pages here. So let's do one together. This is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I picked out these really cute popsicles. Just gonna take my Distress Oxide and Ground Espresso. I'm gonna give that a fast little edge of ink. I'm just a sucker for ink in the edges. I just can't help it. So the technique that I used here was I just lined it up to try to get me the same 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to come back and punch this right here. I did it a couple different ways, and I found that was the easiest for me. I did try to line it up first, punch it out, and then glue it down, and I was not having some great luck then lining it back up, and I just wasn't loving the look. So I went back to this, and it's not that difficult. Okay, use some art glitter glue. I've got that glued down pretty good. So now you can see here on this back side, we've got to get this punched back out. So all I did was flip it around so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to flip around my 3/4 of an inch punch, and I'm going to put it inside the pocket. I'm going to line it up as best I can and punch. Not too difficult, just going to take a few seconds here to go back over that ink. And now you can go and do all of your pages. So there's 8 pocket pages, so you'll need 16 pieces of paper. You can kind of see this is what I have done. It took me about an hour to cut them all out, glue them down, punch them. Not too bad while you're watching TV. So let's now work on the inside cover. What I've decided to do on this inside cover, even though it's a small album, is I would like to do a stacked pocket, not just a regular pocket. So let's glue down some pretties here for a mat first, and then we'll get to a pocket. So I cut this at 3 1/2 by 5 5/8. I could have went, 5 1/2, but I wanted a little bit more. Sometimes I can be a little anal about that kind of stuff, depending on my look. Just gonna use some art glitter glue here. Gonna try to get this is probably a little more than 1/8 of an inch around here. I love this paper, so cute. And once we start putting those tags in and adding more color to this craft, it is really going to come together. So what we're going to do here is going to add 2 pockets. Bottom pocket on the inside cover, and then we're going to stack a pocket on top of that. So I cut 2 pieces of paper. The first one is 2 by 6 3/4, and then on 3 of those sides, I scored it at 1/2 of an inch. And the smaller one is 1 1/2 inches by 6 3/4, and again on 3 of those sides, I scored them at 1/2 of an inch. So let's see how we get that put together. The bigger one, I wrote my numbers upside down, so I'm going to flip this around. Grab me a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut across on that score line to miter. Take out some of that bulk, so when I am folding it together, let's go ahead and tape. That'll make life a little easier. I'm going to grab my tape here. So anyway, once you take that bulk out, when you start folding that pocket together, it's just going to make for some better construction. Hello, here we go. I like to cut my tape with a stamp block or an acrylic block, especially one that's got a really defined straight edge. I find that easier than tearing it with my fingers and getting it all crooked. Okay, so I put that on the top. And then fold down. Don't worry, where I have written is going to be covered with cardstock. Okay. All right, so you can see here I got a pretty good miter. Don't have a lot of overlap. This one not so much, so I'm going to take a little more off the side so I don't have any overlap, and you can still put a tag or photo or whatever we decide in there. Okay, so this is going to be my first layer. Make sure everything looks cool here. Okay, I'm going to put this toward the bottom. All right. I think I should give it a good burnish. I'm going to try using these new styluses from EK Success. I got these from May Shop. One of them has a really good pointy end. This is the new pokey tool that she has been using, so I thought I would try that out. Fits really good in the hand, and it came with some styluses, so I'm going to use those stylus as I am scoring some more. So I'm just going to line this up toward the bottom, making sure that I do not get close to where the book closes here on this score line. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we've got our first pocket. You can see here. Now we've got some space to put some things. And then, to fancy it up a little bit, I wanted to do a double pocket. Okay, so that second piece that we cut, the way you prep that is you cut, instead of cutting across like the score line, I'm going to cut on the right hand side to the score line, and then I'm going to miter it this way. So the only reason this score line is here is to help me line it up. And then I will show you what that looks like. So I cut in from the side on the score line, stopped at the 1/2 inch score line, and then went down just like that, okay? So now the only tape that I'm going to need is on these two sides, because this is going to slip down into the pocket. And it will make sense shortly if it doesn't right now. Okay. If I could put my tools back where I can find them, make life easier. I guess we're all kind of like that, right? We start working our way in and giving ourselves less and less room to work before we know it. Okay, burnish that really good. Put this around to the back. So now this is going to slide down in here and stop at that score line. Now you're not going to have any extra bulk on your pocket, since they're just butted up against each other. But you got two. So that should be fun when we start making our tags and photo mats. Alright, slide this back in here, gonna line those edges up. Oh, let me hit this with a little bit of ink, since the other one had a little bit of ink already on there, so it's not so drastic a difference. Okay, so can you see that now? You got a pocket here and a pocket here. So now let's do a little bit of matting on top of that so it really comes to life. Let me see. On that sheet of, in our cardstock packs of pattern paper, and there's always a sheet that has stripes in there and has little bitty words or things you can cut out or use it in the stripe form. So that's what I did, is I just cut these out to mat this instead of using it in the big long strips. I thought that would be nice and a nice way to use the paper. It really adds a lot of color to our project here, and definitely tells you right when you open the book what this book's going to be about, which is summer. So I used one that says summer, and then I used this one that has all the little food trucks on it, which is adorable. The little pretzel truck is the favorite. It is so cute. So that one's front and center. So now, when it comes time, we'll be able to put things here and here. So, so cute. So let's move on over to this front page here. I really want it to stand out and say summer, even though I've got it here. So on one of the cut aparts, I cut down the word summer, and I hit it with a little bit of ink. And I want this to be here. And I really want it to be grounded, so to speak, so it doesn't look like it's floating. So I've cut some of my scrap cardstock and pattern paper that I've been using into some strips. I hit this with some ink here, and then I'm going to see how this is going to look and add up here. So cute. But you know, I already have summer here. I don't think I like this now. I do think I like this to anchor something, and I might use the summer on the back. I wonder about this. Oh yeah, that's really cute. This is also from the cut apart. Sunny days are here again because it says summer. Yeah, I like that better. Hit this with some ink. Don't be afraid to mix things up or not go with your current plan. Sometimes the happiest of accidents happen that way, right? So I'm gonna come down here and put this strip of pink, if I can get it on without being so crooked. And then I'm going to put this green stripe that comes on the back of the popsicles, put that on. I'm not putting it in the center, I'm putting it more toward the bottom of that pink. And then I'm going to put the sunglasses. Let's see, either here or here. I like them over here, but I can't cover up the tag. And I might want to use that as a tuck spot later to put something behind. So I'm not going to glue all the way down. I'm going to glue basically to sunny days. Then if I decide not to use it as a tuck spot, I can come back and glue it all the way down, but that will give me an option. Okay, just put glue on that bottom piece here. So now we have a little tuck spot. Love, love, love. Love this so far. Now, let's take a look at the back. I think I'm just going to use a pocket here. We'll keep it a little simpler. Just a plain pocket. This paper is unruly right now because it has not loosened up. Okay, I love this yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. This is the same size as the one we used on the front page. I find doing the same steps as you're going through to be very helpful, right? You cut one, go ahead and take a look, cut the next. And sometimes I'll say, well, it looks so good on the front, we'll just kind of repeat it, which is kind of what I did. I really like the look of this gingham, so there was this yellowish color, almost in the same pattern, so I went with that. So I cut another pocket. This one was the larger one. Go ahead and miter. Add some tape, put it down, and then put down some pattern paper. And so for this one, I also use that same sheet that has the stripes in it, and there were some really, really cute bikinis that happened to be about the same amount tall that I needed, about 1.5 inches. So I cut it down slightly less than that. It turns out to be, this is going to be really cute. And this is where I might use that summer that I didn't wind up using on the front. Okay, I'm going to hit this with a tiny bit of ink since the top's got a little bit. Okay, make sure that I'm not overlapping, which I am a little bit. I think that's good. So I'm trying to think what cute pictures I'm going to use for this album. If I'm going to go in the past and pull some photos, or if I am going to try to take some pictures to put in this album. I haven't quite decided. Maybe you can give me a comment and give me a suggestion of what you are going to do. Yes, isn't that cutie patootie? I must admit, in the summer, I'm not a big outdoorsy person. I like being in the air conditioner, but I do go to the beach on occasion, especially if there's a beach umbrella involved. That's like the only way to go to the beach, right? And this is something that we will definitely work in somewhere as we go. So I think we'll stop here for now. We've got a lot done. When we come back, we will work on tags and the use of their stickers. And then I've got a couple places here, you know, that wasn't perfect. We'll talk about how to cover up things like that. So I'll see you next time. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.